Member for Mosop.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move a motion. Pass on to standing order number 33-1, arise to seek leave for adjournment of the House in order to discuss definite matter of urgent national importance regarding importation of genetically modified GMO maize into the country. Honorable Speaker, this is an issue that is very urgent and it needs an attention of the nation. This time, Mr. Speaker, in most of the areas in Rift Valley and also areas that produce maize, is harvesting time. And this year we are expecting a huge harvest because of good rains. But unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, we are experiencing when the government decided, or the CS of Trade and decided that investment and industry decided that he is going to import 10 million bags of maize into the country at a time that most of the farmers are expecting to harvest and sell. This has created a lot of issues from our farmers. I was at home yesterday and so many farmers came asking me, Honorable Member, what are we doing with the maize that we are going to harvest? Where are we going to sell it? Honorable Speaker, we expect to harvest approximately 30 to 40 million bags this year. And as we speak, National Cereals and Produce Board has not opened its doors. They have not started to buy. And I got a chance to go to the National Cereals and Produce Board. I met with the management. I asked them, when are you going to start purchasing or opening your doors? They have no idea. So farmers are left with millions of bags in their homes. They don't know where to sell them. And the government or the ministry has already imported 10 million bags. And they will start selling those bags of maize to the bakers. So the question that we are bringing here, before even the cassette man went out, if it's true that the ship has already docked in Mombasa, and we were yet to verify, with 200,000 bags, with 37 more vessels expected in the country, the question that we are asking the ministry, why import maize at such a time as this, when the farmers have sufficient and we have enough maize already in the country? Two, the question that we're still asking the ministry is the issue of importing the GMO maize. This is a question that most of us are still asking, the safety of GMO. We have our neighboring countries like Uganda, Tanzania, they're still producing organic maize, but no GMO. Why could we not go buy maize from the neighboring if we have a real shortage? But at this time, we have never, in the history of this country, we have never imported maize during harvest. Farmers usually produce, they sell their maize to National Produce and Cereals Board with a good price. But with the importation of 10 million bags, for sure, we know the price at the moment is 5,500 or 5,300 a bag. With the importation of these 10 million bags, the price will automatically drop down to almost 2,000 shillings a bag. What are the farmers going to do? Because the inputs at the beginning of the year was very high, and farmers used quite a bit of their resources to plant and to grow this maize. Now they are harvesting, and you are talking about now that they have started to harvest, you want to bring or flood the market with cheap maize to make sure that the farmers don't recoup their investments. So we are asking the ministry, the CS, especially Moses Kuria himself, who was a member of this house. He was a champion of guaranteed minimum returns for the farmer. But now that he is the CS, he is the one who has authorized the importation of 10 million bags without now talking about the guaranteed minimum returns for our farmers. So we are asking, what changed? A champion who used to champion the cost of the farmers is the first person who has now imported the maize, and we believe it will be a lot cheaper. So, Ms. Speaker, Madam Speaker, my concern, and we are requesting the Committee of Agriculture to summon the Minister of Agriculture and also for Trade to come into the House and explain to us what was the logic behind the importation of 10 million bags of maize into the country when we have a robust harvest, when we actually harvesting quite a number of, because as of yesterday when I was going around most parts of my constituency, so many farmers have already harvested and they are waiting for the cereals to open their doors. But before they open the doors, now we are seeing 10 million, so many bags have already come into the country. So this motion specifically was to ask, and I know members will have to contribute to this, to ask as to what logic did we go into? And then two, what have we done about the safety of genetically modified organic maize? Previous times, this issue has been discussed in this House, and there was different views. As of today, no conclusion has been reached if GMO is really safe or not safe. So if we have already imported 10 million bags, and we are not guaranteed the safety of this maize, and soon it will get into the millers, millers are going to grind and package it and start selling on the supermarkets, which will mean in a few weeks we will be consuming GMO maize. And so the question is, what is the safety of this maize we are about to consume? So we are asking to hold the cassettlement of this importation. We are requesting that we sit down and we discuss, we review the safety of the GMO, and then now, at that point, we move forward with the importation. But we are talking of the maize, and if we are yet to confirm, because we don't know, but we are yet to confirm if the maize has actually arrived. How did the maize arrive before the cassettlement is done? Two, what have we done about the safety of this maize, the GMO maize? Is the House in agreement of importing this maize, the GMO maize? But the main question is, let's not import the maize at a time when most of our farmers who actually depend on maize for food, they depend on this maize to pay the school fees of their children and livelihood and everything else. And if the price go down, farmers will end up not even growing maize the coming season, because if the prices are so low and they lose so much money, we can end up into a situation where maize in the country will not be an option. The breadbasket of Kenya, the Rift Valley area, and most of those areas, people are going to sort into other crops, and we might end up not having enough maize again in the coming years. So, Madam Speaker, allow me to end here as I support this motion, that we actually look into this issue, we stop this importation for now until this